live in. They need to be going deeper with a smaller audience. You just be hard pressed to make the case that that's not more profitable, especially in a high ticket sales environment, which is what real estate is. And again, none of that was to discourage you in any way, shape, or form, Stuart. It was just like I like breaking that stuff down and digging into that. And
no, I mean, it doesn't discourage me. I mean, it's food for thought, and I appreciate that. Hell, that's why I'm here, man.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to start it off with something that I think beautifully ties together some of the thoughts that I've kicked these off with all week. This is my guy, Alex. I don't actually know Alex, though I will be meeting him in person in March, and I'm very excited for that. On Monday, I talked about a quote from Don Shula. It's the start that stops most people. Tuesday, I think, was the day that I talked about one of what I have as like a core value, which is figure it out, FIO. It's something that I've really done my best to instill into my children. Like, stop asking silly questions. Just go figure it out. Come back to me with the good question, like the harder questions. You're asking a silly question. Go figure it out. Then come back to me with like a real question. Alex's quote, I saw this on LinkedIn last night or this morning. I don't know. There's only really one belief you need to win. Belief in your ability to figure it out. That's it. Start. You'll figure out the rest. Right? So the ability to figure it out. And also, I'll encourage you, it is easier than ever to figure it out, because if you can't figure something out, don't go to Google, go to ChatGPT or Gemini and talk to it about your problem, and you will be amazed at some of the feedback you get, right? So it is easier than ever to figure it out. And then actually implementing whatever it is that you went and figured out. That's where the rubber meets the road. So I thought that was good. A couple of quick housekeeping items, something cool that I wanted to share. If you go to, oh, doggone it, I'm logged in. Hold on. Sean just revamped. For those of you that aren't Founders Club members, if you go to the homepage now, this is pretty cool. You can pop in a zip code and it will spit out we just kind of picked our top 6 lists, and you can see the lead counts in those. And this is version 1.0. Like, we do envision doing some cooler stuff with the homepage to help people identify. I think you will be shocked at the amount of opportunity there is in most zip codes. I have popped in single zip codes for towns that I have never heard of before, and there is loads of opportunity. So this does relate to, if you were in before I went live, quote unquote, I was talking with Stuart, and this relates to a conversation that we were having, is the idea that if I go like big and broad, there's even if I get just a small percentage of those people that will be profitable, or that will be a winning, campaign or whatever. And I think you're way better off starting small, because you can always spread your wings from that. But in the world we live in, where I don't know what the exact, stats are right now, but the number of touch points you need, Campbell shared an example if you missed it. He got a call back on the 14th piece of direct mail he sent someone. Most people aren't sending 14. We're all inundated everywhere with marketing messages, more so than ever in our lives. Like, that is fact. And so to assume that you can hit someone once, no matter how compelling or irresistible that offer is, and they're going to do business with you, is not, you can get business, but it's not a way to grow a business. In other words, this week, I have had success, one-hit wonders. But longer term, going deeper with a smaller audience is in most cases a much more effective use of time, energy, and dollars. So check that out. We'd love feedback on this. If you're a Founders Club member or not, yesterday's mastermind I thought was pretty cool because it was very, very like real world. We hit stumbling blocks. We couldn't get listing agents to answer their phone and, this, that, and the other thing. And still in less than 2 hours, Stephanie had multiple potential opportunities, nothing written or contracts or anything, full disclosure, but some real tangible, opportunities in her pipeline. That is edited. It will be added in. We're turning that into, a searchable knowledge base, et cetera. And I think it was interesting enough and the feedback was good enough that we're just going to do that regularly. So next week, I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to take, Campbell has volunteered and we have another volunteer, Greg, and we're going to do it slightly differently, which I'll reach out to Campbell. I'll hit you up tomorrow or Monday.
Perfect.
We'll do it slightly differently with Campbell and Greg. And the difference is, I don't know why it's not like a secret. I would like them to bring the deals because the biggest bottleneck oftentimes is actually talking to the dang listing agents. So like we wasted 45 minutes trying to talk to the listing agents. So I'm going to get with Greg and Campbell earlier in the week so that they can bring 2 or 3 potential deals. And ideally there'll be different types of deals so we can go a couple of different directions with it. And then we'll get to work on implementing steps 2 and 3, because those, to me, well, not to me, those are where the rubber meets the road. Like, it's not just to me, that's reality. Like, that's really where it's the differentiation happens. So
Josh, is what you're saying, you got to have the bait to start with is what you want.
Right. And we spent our wheels for like 60 minutes yesterday trying to find the bait. And I think it would have been better content if we had already had some bait and we could just like jump right in. Regardless, it was still great, I thought anyway. And it was instructive and helpful for me and for Sean on a number of levels as well. If you missed that yesterday, you want to check out the replay. For now, just DM me or text me. Actually, hold on. I'll drop it in the chat. We have it on Vimeo, but so you can check it out, but we're also working on using AI to summarize and an infographic, et cetera, because it's a lot. Like, it was 90 minutes, even edited down, it was still 90 minutes, right? And like, we're busy.
Josh, I'm dropping a link also. This is an article on what NVIDIA just launched in the AI space for anybody interested. This is incredible what they've done. They've broken the rules of how fast chip structure can go forward.
Cool.
They're the backbone of AI.
Yeah, beautiful. So before I get into actually doing some work this morning, and I would encourage you all to do that along with me when we get to that point, I wanted to share, some of you have seen this before, but I'm going to share it again. So this is my sign redesign, and I'll explain why I'm bringing this up. This is my sign redesign. For years, my signs were admittedly terrible. I mean, they were literally just checking off the box of, yes, I have a sign I can put in front of your house if you've decided to list with me. It was admittedly just like an afterthought. The design was ugly. And more importantly for me, it did not follow the principles of direct response. Meaning, like, I like, if I'm going to put marketing out into the world, I want there to be a clear, understandable way for someone who is interested to do the next thing. This sign design is inspired by Chris and Levi Jones, Guerrilla Realty, fellow EXPers as well. And I will say, I have 5 of these signs out. Not a one of them has generated nearly as many leads as any of the examples that they mention on their webinar, if you have seen them talking about that. However, I would say without question, it's generating more than my old terrible signs. And I can if not directly, at least indirectly attribute 2 deals that I now have in escrow because of the signs. Now they may have called even on my old ugly signs. Like I can't prove that without question, but look, you got to put a sign out. So might as well make it better. And I'm not saying this one is the best or that you should R&D it. I just thought I would share because number one, I'm sharing it so I can put into my own brain, where else am I just checking off a box versus being more strategic? And for all of you as well, like, are there areas of your business that if you just changed or tweaked slightly could get you an uplift on something that you're doing anyway? I'm putting signs out on my listings regardless. Might as well, increase the likelihood that I can get a lift in results. So if you're interested, I'll drop this in the chat as well. This is my version that I've created to share. Somebody added this, which was perfect. I didn't even add that. But what I would recommend, not download. If you have Canva, you can edit this version. If you do that, do everyone a favor and copy it first. Like make a copy of it first, and then then it'll be in your Canva and you can do it. And I'm not suggesting, again, all of this stuff is just me sharing what I'm doing. So I'm not trying to tell you what you should do or any of that. I'm just here to share what I'm doing, what's working for me, and we can collaborate along the way, and hopefully everyone working together, we can kind of be a rising tide to raise all boats.
Josh, I put together a doc because we were trying to get the sign set up for Joan. She's like trying to figure it out. I was like, oh, let me just document this. So I got real detailed.
Beautiful.
We could put something together that we could share. And I took it 2 other steps further. I've got my signs now. I added this rent to own sign writer.
Yeah.
So I could pick up rent to own clients. And I also did another one. It shows up here. It's a home value sign.
Yeah.
So that goes to my iList page.
So that's a sign you put out in addition.
In addition, I figured I'd put these on the corner of the property. Somebody walking by might be like, oh, I'll scan this thing as opposed to scanning the one.
Dude, you just added so much oh man, thank you. So don't stop there. Find other ways to get even more. The rent to own rider, that's a topic for another day, but James has a strategy and is well-versed at that. And if he had somebody that came and wanted to rent to own that property, if they qualified for the rent to own program, he could bring a buyer that would pay essentially retail topic for another day, but a unique value proposition to capture even more attention, right? Because that's all we're trying to do. We're trying to turn attention, people looking at a sign, and turn them into opportunities for us. And the additional, the home value rider, that's a great one as well. You could go a number of different ways on that. So I'm thinking for me, a lot of my market qualifies for zero down financing because a lot of my market is USDA. So I could create or have a secondary sign out around that. I need to figure out what to do with that. ASAP. You got my gears turning. That's a great share. So we will put together a doc. Everyone, the regular attenders, here's what I would put out to you. Don't let us forget. We will have for Monday's Closers Cafe, because no cafe tomorrow. I got to regroup. For that one, we'll have a doc, so it'll have the Canva and more context, like James had promised there. So hold our feet to the fire on that, please and thank you.
Aaron's got a question about this being dynamic. Yes, everything's dynamic, so we can go change where that QR code goes. Each sign is a different QR code, so that you can't do
I don't want to get too far in the weeds, but here's I'll explain it as as concisely as I can. And I will emphasize again, this is the solution that I came to. I'm not suggesting this is the right answer for everyone. Every one of my signs has a different text code, which also coincides to a URL, a shortened URL that the QR code is associated with. In other words, so this text code is a smart number in KV Core. It's my number. And that code, I can, in Bold Trail, not KV Core, Bold Trail, formerly KV Core, I can change what is sent dynamically. In other words, like when I forget what, I think I have this out on land, the parcel of land that just went under contract for me. I think that's where I have 1123. When I take that sign and put it elsewhere, I can change the message that someone gets when they text that code to match the listing that it's now at. The QR code, when scanned, goes to a shortened URL that I use Rebrandly. And the same thing, I can go and edit it. That URL is joshvips.com/1123. That way I know that's this sign. That's the way that I came up with doing it. I know that there are like truly dynamic QR codes and so forth. I just figured out FIO, right? I figured out for me the best way to do it. Not suggesting it's the best way, period. It's just, I looked at what I have and used that. I'm certain that there are better or other ways to do it. It's just the answer that I came up with. Okay. Reverse prospecting. I have, so one of the listings that I talked about earlier in the week that I had coming soon, we delayed going live on the market until next week because the punch list work is taking longer than expected. The one that I did post coming soon, that we did the Google Earth view, it went live this morning, and I have intentionally set it so that you can't schedule appointments until tomorrow because I like to create some tension. In the meantime, I set up this morning my reverse prospecting outreach to agents. I didn't document it. I will document it next week. I didn't document it because I was literally doing it in between my sets of deadlifts. Thursdays are deadlifts for me. So I literally did it in between then, and I wasn't gonna, record it as I'm like out of breath from knocking myself out.
Come on and brag, Josh. How much you lifting?
It's not. There's no need to brag. Actually, I did deadlift 295 for 2 this morning, so that wasn't too bad. That wasn't too bad because I'm
my 250 push-ups this morning.
No, all right, love it. Anyway, I did that in between. I will I have this documented elsewhere. I'll document it when I do it next week for John's listing. But all I do is I go into my MLS, I copy all of the agents. In this case, there were over 200 agents. I copy that information because I can't, in my MLS, I can't export it. So I copy it. I use Gemini to put it in a, I just use a prompt, and I'll put this all into a document, but I use a prompt that organizes the data. Then I paste that data into a Google spreadsheet, which gets it in first name, last name, email, phone number, and I include the client ID because the agents that are that reply, their most common question is, well, who is the client, or what's the client ID? So I try to include that in there, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, but whatever. Anyway, I then, for what reason? Anyway, sorry, distracted, squirrel. I use my cold outreach engine, which is a version of Go High Level. If you don't have that or a way to do that, I'm here to profess that you should do that manually. Because I just have an overwhelming amount of evidence that will get you more interest and offers and exposures. Because as much as you might think that all of these other agents that have these people on these reverse prospecting lists and clients in there, that they're like every day, they're doing the work for them, They're not. Some of them are, but many of them are not. And if you give a little nudge, hey, this one might be of interest to your client, and they go and look, that's a nudge for them to go and look at the property and then reach out to the client and say, we might want to go look at this one. So don't let, this is my scaled version of this, but I did do it manually. I went through the pain of doing it manually to figure out there has got to be a way for me to do this more efficiently. Because if, I just don't have time right now to reach out to 200 agents this morning. So I load them up into this, and okay. Well, it's funny. I love when people argue when it's very clear. Okay, Shelly, I made it up. Anyway, sorry. The text that I send, generally speaking, you have to tweak it to match the listing. But hey, Shelly, it's Josh with eXp Realty. Looks like you might have a client interested in our new listing at blah, blah, blah. The client ID, it's vacant and easy to show. None of my clients reach out to us. It doesn't mean, okay. I mean, I'm not going to argue with her, but I wouldn't have sent it if she didn't have clients. Whatever. That's the text. And then the email is, similar. The subject line, I just copy the subject line from Bright, because you can send an email through Bright that is the reverse texting or reverse prospecting email. So I just grab that subject line because most agents recognize that and know what that means. And then I just have a short and sweet, where did it go? Here, just a short and sweet message. Sometimes it's a little longer depending on the listing, but like this one's, it's pretty simple and clear cut. And, it's just another way to do your best job for your clients, right? Because look, it is a math equation in most cases. The more people that see it, the more showing requests that will happen. The more showings you have, the more offers you will have. It literally, it is an equation. And I'm not saying like it's a perfect equation that is always, perfectly repeatable or whatever. But it comes down to that, if you want to get multiple offers in a weekend, in my experience, you have to have at least double-digit showing requests, at least. If you want to guarantee that you get multiple offers in a weekend, you got to be between 20 and 30. So like for me, it's like anything and everything I can do to get more showing requests for that weekend, for that opening weekend. Along those lines, in order to help facilitate that, one of the things I do is the reverse prospecting. The second thing we're going to do this morning is a process that I am still going to have to record a standalone Loom for, but I'm just going to do it this morning here, which is posting organically on Facebook, on Nextdoor, and Google Business, similar to what I did on Monday. But now it's the listing is live. Aaron, I wasn't sure if you were asking a question or if that was just accidental.
Yeah, sorry, I had a quick question.
Yep.
On that reverse prospecting, so are you basically, are you pulling that list out of Bright of those agents that have had someone who's looked at that list? I
will document that as a standalone tutorial next week and include the prompts. But well, I'll just show it real quick for those that have Bright or something similar. So, because some of you may want to do this right now. So why not show those who might be interested? So I pull up my listings because you can't do it unless it's your listing. And this was the listing. Right. This is the new listing. And so I go to the listing, I hit reverse prospect, and then I scroll to the bottom. I copy all. And I've used ChatGPT. I've used Manus for this. I'm using GPT. Sometimes will get confused if it's like hundreds and hundreds of them. So, sometimes you got to play around, and there might even be a better way to do this. This is just the way that I know how. This is the prompt that I used. No, what the heck? Where's the prompt from this morning? Oh, here. It was, goodness, where is it? I don't know why it changes the prompt into "you are a knowledgeable, helpful person." Write a comparable. Where's my actual prompt? Here, okay. So I paste this in. I paste that data in, and I'll go to Manus because I know Manus has my prompt. And I'll drop this prompt in. But it's literally just like, drop that in the chat. And one of the reasons why I was using Manus is Manus would spit out a CSV file. But like I'm paying for so many different AI platforms. I was like, I don't think I need Manus anymore because Gemini is really good and I use ChatGPT a lot. So whatever. So I was trying to figure out like, how can I cut off one of these? Because again, I'm like paying for a bazillion of them, it feels like. But all I'm trying to do is get it into a CSV file with first name, last name, email, phone number, and I want the client ID. Like I did this a number of times without the client ID. You get a bunch of the agents that are like, what's the client ID? Or agents that don't even realize that that's how it works. And they're like, well, what's the client's name? You can't see the client's name because, that would be not great. Like if I could see that Chris Deerdorf's client is, so-and-so. But you can see the reference number is the client ID and they can go. Some agents don't know this, so you have to train them. They can go and search their contacts. And if they put that client ID, that 5-digit number in there, the reference number, so you can search by name, email, or reference number, then they can pull it up and they can see, oh, that's the person. So I could tell Shelly if I wanted to get combative, which is pointless, so I'm not going to. But I could tell her, Shelly, the client ID of the person I'm talking about is this. Like, I didn't make it up. It is someone that you have saved.
Perfect.
I will put that into a more organized end-to-end explanation for anyone interested. Just, it won't be today. It'll be next week. Okay. I am now going to post the fact that it is available, just listed. I'm going to post it on Facebook and share it into groups. I'm going to post it on Nextdoor, and I'm going to post it on my Google business profile. Earlier in the week, when I posted the call to action, the only way they could get more information was to text a code or to comment below. I got one comment. It was a guy like, hey, I can help with renovations. But I did get somebody to text. One. Like, I talked about this. I don't even remember now. But anytime, it was on yesterday's deal sprint. While Stephanie was calling. When you do things like what I'm about to do, okay, so the process I'm about to do, any one instance of that may or may not generate you any net results. Meaning, that one instance, the actual results you get could be amazing or they could literally be nothing. But if I do this process 10 times, I know with certainty 2 or 3 of those times, I get a ton of leads. And 4 or 5, I get a trickle, and 1 or 2 of them, I get like nothing. But if I average it out, it makes a lot of sense, and I get more than if I don't do it. I've done what I'm about to do. Last year, I think the most leads I ever generated with what I'm going to do here, which will take me all told, and somebody can put a stopwatch on it maybe, it'll take me probably 10 or 15 minutes. The most leads I generated last year doing this, I believe, was 49. Free leads. More people in my database. And also I did it times where it was 0, right? But like averaged out, it's worth it. And what I can't quantify, no one can, is the additional eyeballs that see that and then go to their agent and say, hey, can we schedule a showing for this weekend? Like that, there's no way for me to track that, but that absolutely happens. Right? So again, it's just me doing my job. The more eyeballs I get on my listing, the more likely we are to get more showing requests and more showings, and therefore more offers. I don't know why. I feel like sometimes I just feel like I get super wound up, and it's like I'm, I don't know, whatever, yelling at y'all, but that's not the intent. The reason I'm using listings to leads is, from my personal experience, is has been the best way for me to capture more leads. I've tried a number of different ways. I've used different landing pages, etc. For me, this has generated outsized results over anything else I've tried. You can do whatever you want. It's just the answer that I've come to. So I'm going into my listing and listings to leads. And I'm going to, right now it's on the edit tab. I'm going to go to market listing, and I'm going to choose social media post. I need to figure out, it auto posted on my social medias this morning at like 4 a.m. I need to figure out how to turn that off, but regardless. No, it was a 5:06 in the morning. Anyway, that's irrelevant to what we're doing here, but I'm going to edit the post first. I wish that it would reverse this. I don't know why it puts the city in all caps. I like it the other way around. It probably, in fact, I'm certain it doesn't matter, but I don't care. It's the way I like it better that way. So I'm going to do it. So that's the headline, or the top of the text. And then the call to action, which is to go to this page. And this is the page that I'm talking about. For me, this page converts better than anything. And also, I have installed on my listings to leads the script with fastcashoffers.ai that captures even more leads. So I capture leads that opt in, and I capture leads that don't opt in. And I send them all the information, and I'll give you the script that works better than any script that I have found to follow up with any leads that are requesting information about a specific listing. I will give that. Don't let me forget, because I have a lead that I actually have to call that came in late yesterday on one of my listings that I need to call anyway, and I'll give the script then. So don't let me forget. But this is what the page looks like. I don't know why it puts a heart. Like I'm not a red heart kind of guy. Okay. Although it is, I guess it's supposed, it's getting close to Valentine's Day. The little extra description, I mean, take it or leave it. I don't know that makes much of a difference. I like to include what you would call like the so I'm trying to find that to copy and paste it. Here we go. It's just when I'm live streaming and screen sharing and everything else, it can bog things down. So, whoops. So I put that in here. I'm going to edit the hashtags a little bit. I'm going to add fixer upper. Actually, I'm going to leave that like this, and then I'll play around with the hashtags when I get to the first place I'm going to post is Facebook, because Facebook will show you, this hashtag has this many posts and this hashtag, so you can kind of get a feel for, okay, these probably make more sense than others. I'm going to hit the edit image tab. And again, I'm like, I don't know, I'm a little anal about this kind of stuff. I want it to be just listed in caps and Duncannon in regular or proper case, I think is what they call it. So I'm going to apply that, and then I'm going to download. I'm going to download both versions of this image, the horizontal oriented and the square oriented. So that one downloaded. I'm going to download the second one. I am then going to airdrop them to my phone. So that I can edit them similar to how I edited the Google Earth Studio photo. So I hit the I button. I'm going to add a location, which will geotag it, which just tells these different platforms that I'm about to post it on that this is locally relevant. You know, it's just another signal. The caption.
Show that geotagging again, Josh.
So I hit on the iPhone, I hit the I button, and then you, well, hold on. I have to do it for the second image. I'll show that again there because it looks different once you.
L to L is what you're doing.
What's that?
You pull that out of listing to leads.
This picture is just downloaded from listings to leads. Yep. So I'm going to add a caption: fixer upper, home for sale, Duncannon, PA, Perry County, Pennsylvania, investor special, handyman, EXP Realty, listing agent, realtor. And then I have to spell my name because if I talk to text my name, it never spells my last name right. It should know my last name. It's my dang phone, but it doesn't. So those are I'm just stuffing it with relevant keywords. So I've done that one. That's the square one. This is the horizontal one. So where you geotag is, notice the I button is already selected because I was just editing the one before, the information, and you just tap location. And I don't always tag the specific address when I'm doing this process because the flow I'm doing right now is for a specific listing. In that case, I am. But also what I'm about, like once I get to the actual posting, that is a great strategy, even if you're not posting a specific listing. In other words, that's a great strategy to post a curated list of new construction homes for sale in Mechanicsburg or whatever. Like there's lots of ways that you can use this free organic methodology to generate more leads. And if I'm doing something that's more of a curated list or a market report or something like that, in that case, I tag not a specific street address, but like if I just wanted to do Duncannon, you can choose just that. You can geotag just Duncannon and it drops a pin on whatever like the center is of that city or town or whatever. I'm going to add the same captions. So those are edited. Now I got to drop them back to my laptop. I mean, I could post them from my phone, but I post them from my laptop because that's where I have the, that's where I'm logged into listings to leads, and that I need that for part of the process. So now I go to Facebook. And I'm going to go to my business page, my local business page, my local, real estate production business page. Create post. I'm going to use the vertical version. Actually, most people are going to see this on their mobile phone. So I'm going to use the square version. And then over here, I need to copy here and paste. And now, Duncannon, PA, just listed. Put my name in case, I don't know, somebody specifically puts my name. The real estate tag is too generic, I think. Like that doesn't make sense to me. Whoops. Realtor makes sense. Realty makes sense. 11 million posts, realty. Broker doesn't make sense to me, I don't think. The generic for sale, that doesn't make sense to me. Home for sale, right? I mean, anything could be for sale. That doesn't seem relevant. House hunting, fixer upper, and maybe I'll do, I don't know, investor special. There's 120,000 tagged for that. And I'll do, see what handyman special comes up. That's worth it. Whatever. I'm now going to copy that. And I'm going to go next. and I will post it. While that is posting, I'm going to go to Nextdoor. I'm going to I'm going to pin the actual address that tells Nextdoor like who to show this to. And I can't remember, like, this is kind of an obvious thing, but I can't remember what the numbers are, but it's like, I don't know. It's something like 80% of people move within 5 miles of their current location when they move. There's some statistic like that, and I could be just making it up, but I've heard that before. And I don't know if it's like 75% of people or 80% of people, and I don't know if it's a 3 mile radius or a 5 mile radius. But point is, the majority of people move in a narrow window. Not everybody, right? Because there are relocation, blah, 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 but like a high percentage of people. Okay, so I'm literally using the same text. I'm using the horizontal image. Doesn't really matter. Although I think on Nextdoor, the horizontal shows better, and on Facebook, the block shows better, because most people looking on Facebook, I don't know what the number is, but it's like, again, I'm just making up stats again, but it's like 80% of people are scrolling Facebook on their phone, something like that. So, think about the content that you post, format it so that it's, best optimized for the user, not easiest for you. Next, I'm going to go to my Google Business Profile. If anybody can help me figure out how to stop this image showing us the main image for my Google Business Profile. I have tried a bazillion times to change this. This is a photo that my client uploaded. It's a terrible photo. I don't know why it's showing that. It's driving me nuts, because it's like, it's not a good reflection of my business. I've tried anyway. Done ranting. Add post.
I've got a picture of 2 guys in a truck. 2 guys in a truck in the back of a building. I have no idea where it came from or why it's there.
I have tried so many different times. I can't. Anyway, I'm going to post here. So I'm adding a post to my Google Business Profile. I'm using the horizontal because the way those posts are formatted, that makes more sense in my experience. I'm going to paste in the same text, but I have to edit that, because you can't you can't have in Google Business Profile, you can't have phone numbers or emails or anything like that. So I have to tweak it some. I'm going to copy the URL. And when I did this earlier in the week, the button that I added was Call Now, but now I'm going to go Learn More, and I'm going to send people to that URL. And so it's just listed in Duncannon for instant access to all photos, details, and more. Tap Learn More below. ... Then the little description, etc. I could put my entire listing description in here. I've done that before. I don't know if it makes any difference. I mean, I think, you could make the case that more words on Google gives it more opportunity to rank it or whatever. I'm not going to do that right now. Actually, I have it open, so I will do it right now. I have the listing open, I think. Didn't I? Oh, doggone it.
Josh, are you going to embed the link to listing deletes for Lead Capture?
Yeah, I did. Well, you can't put it in the post. You have to put it in the button. So here, I'll show.
Just making sure.
When you add button, I've learned. And I'll post in. That's the full.
I'm not seeing that, Josh.
What's that?
It just came back. You're on a different page.
Yeah, it was okay. Yeah, my internet was unstable. So you can do earlier in the week I did Call Now. When you do Call Now, it just links to whatever your phone number is associated with your Google Business Profile. I really only ever use Learn More or Call Now, because I don't know what the book. That means like book online or something like that. Order online isn't applicable.
Buys. Look up your Google Calendar for people to book with.
Yeah, but the options that they have, like, I don't know. Anyway, so I'm going to post that. Somehow or another, I'm associated with a realtor's. I don't know how that happened, but whatever. So all of that is well and good. If I just do that, sometimes I'll get leads, sometimes not. But where the big lift comes from is this last step in the process. And I'm going back to my phone. And I'm doing this from my personal profile. I posted it to my Facebook page. This step comes from my personal profile because I'm going to then share that into groups. And you can join groups from your business page, but like it's kind of an additional pain and it's like a process. So most of the groups that I belong to them from my personal profile. So I'm going to go find the post that I made. So there's the post that I made. Okay. I'm going to share it on my story. I mean, that's not a big deal, but I do have a lot of local realtor friends, and some of, that could end up being an extra 1 or 2 people that are like, oh, I have a client that might be interested, whatever. Okay. But here's where you get the biggest lift. Share, group, whoops. And you can share it up to 10 groups, in up to 10 groups. So I'm going to, this is in Perry County. That's the county with 1 stoplight. I don't know why I say that every time I bring up Perry County, but, so hold on. Whoops. So I'm a part of 7 of those. Whoops. What is going on here? So I'm trying to select all 7 of those. 1, 2, 3. For some reason, I can't select the 7th one. I don't know what's going on here. I can't select the 7th one for some reason, but I'm also going to share it into some general central PA ones because I can share it up to 10. I might as well use all of them. So I'll share it Central PA Real Estate Advertising Group, Central PA Real Estate Investors, because this would make sense for an investor. And houses for sale, rent, etc. I think, is that 10? Central PA Investor Club. There we go. You've reached your limit for sharing. So I'll hit next. I can then add a little something at the top. I'm just going to do emojis here. Sometimes I will put, who do you know that might be interested? Question. Actually, I think I did that Monday. So today I'm going to go eyeball emojis. I'm going to do the fixer-upper house emoji. Where'd that go? And arrow emoji, like pointing down. No, point. And then I'm going to share. And averaged over time, that gets me more leads than not. On this one, if I had to guess, and I can report back next week, I will likely get between 20 and 40 leads on this one. I just know from when I post properties like this, it just generates outsized response. If you do that process on a higher priced property, you probably won't get inundated with leads. But it doesn't matter because the leads are like sawdust, meaning it's not the intent. The intent for me is to do my job for my client. And part of that job is to get as many people as possible to see the listing that it could, in any, potential case, be interested. And if it generates leads on top of that, so be it, right? Like that's good for me, but the eyeballs are like the number one reason that I do that. Somebody, I don't know if that was Campbell or somebody else was asking a question.
Josh, I was asking, you're saying that's from posting to the groups that you'll get that many leads?
Well, I have gotten leads without posting to groups. So you will still potentially get traction even if you don't post to the groups. But the groups is the 80-20. So that part, so that was essentially 4 steps. I posted to my Facebook page, I posted to Nextdoor, I posted to Google Business Profile, and then I shared my post into groups. of those 4 things, the posting to the groups will by far get the most traffic and therefore by far get the most potential leads. You can still get traction without that piece, and you'll still get some views and potentially some leads, but the Pareto principle there, the majority will come from the sharing into groups. All right, what do we got here?
Why don't you also put it in Facebook Marketplace? And then from there.
Oh, because I'm an idiot. Because I'm an idiot. I forget about that. Let's do that. I haven't been doing that for my listings. And it's another free way to get more eyeballs. So thank you.
You know, Kristen Levi teach that all the time. Craigslist.
So let me switch back to my personal profile. I think I'm still getting back into the swing of this because I was banned from Facebook Marketplace for like years because I broke their terms of service. I wasn't doing anything like illegal or anything. I was just doing I was doing direct response marketing, and they didn't love it. But I've got it back, and I've stayed in their good graces. Although even what I'm about to do right now is a little bit or could be potentially against their TOS. So I'm just going to Facebook Marketplace. You can do this from your phone. I'm going to, let's have some fun. I'm going to put, what am I going to do here? I'm going to mix it up. I'm not going to use the images that I used for what I just did. I'm going to put 3, the most endearing things about this are I don't know, the owner will never listen to this, so I can say this, are like the fact that there's off-street parking and it's got this garage and stuff. Like the actual house itself is in rough shape. So I'm going to put those pictures. What's that?
I was just going to jump in, forget the gal's name that suggested getting Meta verified. I went ahead and did that. I wonder if that would have given you a way to get your ban lifted from Marketplace if you had been verified.
I don't think that I think it was lifted before they were letting you pay for the Meta verified thing, but that is a very good point. It is very, very possible.
Yeah. Not cheap, but
yeah,
it'd be worth it, right?
So I put 3 images. I would not put more than 3. I also, just because I already have it, I put the little Google Earth Studio video with it. I already had it. Number of bedrooms, it's a 2-bed, 1 bath. The price, $125. If you want to generate more leads, put $1. And also know that you'll get a bunch of people that are like, I'll take it for $1, but there is a lesson in that, which is if you give people all the information, they have no reason to reach out to you to get more information. So when you're doing marketing, you need to figure out a reason why someone would still need to reach out to you for more information, because all conversion happens in conversation. So I'm going to put the price here, but since I mentioned it, I do have another idea that we can implement here. I haven't done this in a while either, because again, I forget stuff. Actually, I'm going to have to download it from here. Let's see here. 10:24 already. Golly. If I didn't talk so much, I'd get more done. I have had success right here, including or making one of the images something like this. James, similar to James's sign writer about rent to own. I'm going to use this one. It doesn't say that you could buy this home for 0 money down, although you might be able to. There might be a way to structure this. But buy a home with zero money down. And I'm sure there are much better ideas or versions of this that you could come up with. I'm just, I'm on the fly, taking action, and you can always course correct later. But I'm going to add that, which is a pattern interrupt when they see that on Marketplace. And I know with certainty, I will get people that message and say, hey, what's the zero down option, or what's the whatever. In James's case, they would reach out and say, hey, what's the rent to own option available? What's the deal with that? Can you send me more info on that? Okay, I'm going to drop the pin to the address, and then the property description. I'm going to find one of my other listings, one of my old listings from Marketplace, and use that as a template, quote unquote, instead of starting from scratch. So let me see here. Whoops. See Stuart. Oh, this isn't following my normal template. I'm glad to see that Susan's on the phone. I hope she's talking with somebody about business. Somebody getting after it. Let's see here. Is this the one that has or is this a one that has? Yeah, okay. This is more like it. This is a format that I have used. I'm even missing something in here that I'll add in. Honestly, it's not that much different than the format from listings to leads. Where is it? There it is. Paste that in there. Where's my listings to leads? There it is. Actually, I'm just going to do this because that's way easier. Let's see here. And I tell them copy and paste because URLs that you put into this box here don't hyperlink. So you have to tell them to copy and paste. Well, you don't have to, but that helps to people, to tell people actually what to do. And then PS. Did you know there are several zero down financing options, or zero down special financing options available right now? Would you like more info? Square footage. This doesn't matter a ton, but whatever. I'll put it in there. 1164, I think, is what it is. Laundry, in unit, parking type, off street, air conditioning, none, heating, central. Next. If I had not already shared my post into 10 groups, I would share those now, or share that now. Well, I'm still going to share into a couple of groups because why not? And you can share. I think you can do up to 10. You might be able to do. Up to 20 when you share a Marketplace listing. I'm just going to do that one because I don't want to scroll through here and keep dragging this out. Okay, now that is a great shout, Stuart. Thank you for pointing that out. It's free, and you'll get some number greater than 0 more people to look at it, and we're just trying to get as many eyeballs as possible. I promised the best script for following up with people who want more information about a specific listing. Your list could be your listing, but it doesn't have to be. So I'm calling a lead that came in. Yeah, hey, this is Josh Shanley with eXp Realty. You had, I think through homes.com maybe last night, had submitted a request for information. This was vacant land on Good Hope Road. It's in Hamden Township, Mechanicsburg. Yeah. It's residential. Yep. Well, theoretically, yes. I will tell you that it is a very narrow lot, and it's, you know, it's low lying and it's right on the water. I mean, if it rains real hard, yeah. I mean, there are houses along that stretch. It would just definitely create or necessitate some creative engineering. Are you looking to build something for yourself, or you? Yeah, this one won't be good for that specifically. And are you looking like West Shore, East Shore? Because I know you mentioned Harrisburg area. Okay. 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 What about something existing that you could do that? Is that something you'd be open to? Like you're saying you need something to put some equipment at. Are you only looking for something that you could build, something on, or something existing that would fit that? Okay. Well, let me see. I mean, it's, you know, it's no trouble at all. I can see what I can find. A, vacant land wise that you'd be able to put a structure on, or B, if there's anything. In ideally, it would be mile radius of State Street. Is that what you're saying? Okay. Okay. Well, I'm making some notes here. I will see what I can pull up and find for you that, you know, what's actively available on the market. And what I can also do is let you know, I mean, we do come across pretty regularly off-market deals. You know, I would say that specifically what you're looking for, it's not like we get that a lot, but we do occasionally. So I can certainly keep you in mind. You know, if anything like that comes up. When we hang up, I'm going to text you so you have my contact info, and then I think I have your email from. No, I don't actually. What's a good email for you? And was that N as in Nancy or M as in Mary?
Yeah, John, Nancy, John.
Quality
Landscapes with an S
at
at the end.
Gmail?
Yes.
Perfect. Let me see what I can find, and I'll be in touch.
All right, thank you.
And I'm sorry, I didn't get your first name.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm Jerome Span.
Jerome.
Yeah.
Yep, this is Josh. I appreciate the time. I'll see what I can find for you.
All right, thanks, Josh.
Thank you. He actually answered, which I didn't expect. And that was going to give me the opportunity to then give you the script. And I didn't use the script by voice because he had put context with his, this is from homes.com. So this was a free lead, meaning like I do pay homes.com. I think I pay them like $150 a month and it unlocks some features, but I'm not paying them for leads. This was a portal lead that came, and it's my listing. So it came to me, and time permitting, I mean, I'm going to have to set them up in my MLS regardless. I'll do that here. But the script that has worked better than anything for me by text and email on anyone that, you know, would request information on the property that I just listed or come through like this is Hey, Stuart, it's Josh with eXp Realty. Looks like you requested info on one of our listings at street address. Did you get all the info you were looking for? That's it. That's it. Not revolutionary by any stretch, but I without question, that has worked better than anything I've used, specifically in this scenario. This all right, let me drop this. I don't know why I didn't drop this doc. Did I drop this doc in the chat? I don't think I did. These scripts I have been wearing out since like September or August. The scripts on here. So that one is specific for people that request info about a specific listing, yours or someone else's. This is great. On Monday, I shared my one-page plan. Part of that includes every morning emailing people that you see either from your MLS report or in your Bold Trail or your Lofty or your whatever, people looking at properties, listings on your site. This message, subject, first name, body, looks like you were checking out some properties on our site recently. Any thoughts of making a move this fall? You can see, I mean, that was from this fall. Now I'm saying this winter or parentheses, spring, question mark. And then this is also a great catch-all. Where is it? I know it's in here. Did I miss it? I guess I don't have it in here. Hold on. Well, doggone it. I'll add this. Asking when someone requests something, so you get a lead that requests a cash offer, you get a lead that requests, I don't know, an updated home value. They request a list of new construction homes in Mechanicsburg. It looks like you, hey James, it looks like you requested an offer for your property at blank address on one of our websites recently. Is that right? Question mark. Is that right? Question mark. That's it. Just find as many ways to add, like, how can I, is that right? Because it's a yes or no answer, but it starts a conversation because they feel compelled to answer. And even if it's a no, like, who cares? You're just like, oh, so were you just curious about the value, or was it somebody else that submitted your property on our site? Because some people do say no. And that's my pivot. Oh, okay. So someone else put your info in there, or you weren't looking for an offer, you were just kind of curious about values, right? And if they say yes, it's easy. Okay, great. Are you available for a quick chat, or do you prefer text for now? Okay, they say yes. Great. Are you available for a quick chat, or would you prefer text for now? And I don't care, like, whatever. I mean, I want to get them on the phone if I can, but if they're resistant to that, well, I'm at work, you can text me. Okay, well, let's have the conversation there. Golly, I had so much more that I wanted to get into, but it looks like some of you are working, which is good. So I'm gonna carry on here for probably another 15, 20 minutes because I want to demonstrate another way that I am going to maximize exposure for my listing, which is for me to the active buyers.
I'm just taking copious notes here.
I'm just kidding. All right, so I'm going to start with the flippers in Duncannon. So context on what I'm about to pull up. Duncannon is a city in Perry County. Perry County is the county that has one traffic light. I think that one traffic light actually is in Duncannon, but the entire population of Duncannon might be in the hundreds. Okay, so like I'm going to pull up some numbers here, and you're like, well, why are the numbers so low? That can't be right. What is up with that? Hold on here. can't possibly be 57. I wonder what this looks like. I'm going to save that target. I'm going to save that target. I'm going to go Duncannon again. Maybe I'll try the zip code this time. That seems more accurate. 2 cash buyers, 3 active landlord buyers. Now that I'm curious, how could that be? I'm gonna have to get with Sean what's going on there, but let's give it a whirl. I mean, create a target. I wonder if there's another Duncannon, PA. I'm going to pull 10 cash buyers, and I'm going to reach out to them. And then I'll probably, it looks like I maybe already pulled those. Did I already pull Duncannon? Oh, there you go. I did. Huh, son of a gun. All right. Well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to my profile. I'm going to add the scripts, buyer outbound. First name, fixer upper in Duncannon. In the Duncannon area. Curious if you're looking at any deals right now. We have, we just listed one. That could be a good deal for the right investor. Let me know either way. And I'll edit the text message. We just listed one. That could be a good deal for the right person. We got to make sure anytime we're editing those scripts, we save them. I'm editing those so that when I go to my phone, and I start doing my outreach, that I can tap to text and tap to call, and they're right there. So I'm going to go to my deal deck. I'm going to pull up the Duncannon cash buyers, and I'll pull up the first one here. Robert owns 5 properties, all of them free and clear, and numbered not on the DNC. Rock and or roll. Bad number. The Verizon number said it didn't work. Oh, and I messaged this guy before. Let's see here. Well, no emails. I'm going to try and enhance it because there's no emails for him. Oh, there's an email. I got an email back with the enhanced skip trace. That's fun. And all I did was literally tap it, send it. I have found that when you're doing the outreach to the investors, even cold email gets a pretty good, like Monday, I cold emailed 5 of them. 1 of them replied. 4 of them didn't, but like a 20% reply rate. 20% reply rate, that's pretty good. To email, like not too shabby. All right, let's go to the next one in the card here. Let's see. What do we got? Marty, 8 properties, a lot of equity, does have a little debt on it.
John, can you share your screen again?
Oh, you wanted to see the scripts? Or what do you want to see?
No, the screen. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but what did you want to, was there something specific you wanted me to pull up on here?
Oh, I thought, you were looking at, on the number of leads and that kind of stuff, just following along. But that's fine if you don't have it up.
Well, no, I'm doing it on my phone.
Oh.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Oh, but here, so I'll pull up the deck that I'm working. I'll pull up the deck that I'm working on the screen, but I'm just working it from my phone. So I'm working this deck. And Marty is the one that I was about to. So there's one landline for Marty. I'm going to enhance it to see if there's any other contact data that we can find for it. This is the best part of these, is when I'm just, just listening to the phone ring.
Hello, we are not available now. Please leave your name and phone number after the beep. We will return your call.
Yeah, I was trying to reach Marty. This is very transparently a business call. My name is Josh with eXp Realty, and I was calling because it looks like you are a pretty active investor in the Perry County area. We have a fixer-upper that we just listed in Duncannon that could be a good deal for the right investor. And so I was calling to see if you are looking for any deals or maybe know anyone who might be. If you could let me know either way, this is my cell phone, 717-571-0456, 717-571-0456. Thanks. I don't always repeat my number, but when it's a landline, sometimes people, especially, I'm judging here, or I'm stereotyping, but it is, there are people in Perry County that I've called, and it's literally like an old, I can hear that it's like the old answering machines, so it makes me wonder, do they have caller ID? Do they, so I want them to have my number to get back to me. I'm trying to enhance this one, and looky here. I must not have enhanced this before. It came back with a bunch of additional data. So all I did was I tapped. So the original skip trace pulled back one landline. For an extra credit, I enhanced it, and it brought back 3 emails and 3 more phone numbers. So I'm going to tap to email all 3. That took all of 10 seconds to send those 3 emails. All of the other phone numbers are landlines. There's another one that's not on the do not call. So I'm going to try one more landline. And watch this. Actually, this is cool. The purple, if you're using Lead Deck, there's a purple microphone. If you tap that and then call, it'll record just your side of the conversation, and then AI will look at what you're saying and make recommendations for what you might have said differently or communicated better. Now, at this point, it's more for entertainment purposes, and it only records your side because, in Pennsylvania, we are a 2-party call state. So you have to get, if I'm calling somebody to record them, I have to get their permission, or I have to disclose that I'm recording the call up front, which I don't want to do doing this. So I just don't share that side of it, unless there have been times where I open up the line on these because I get a sense I either know the person I'm talking to or whatever, but generally speaking, I don't want to do that. Anyway, I'm going to tap the purple button and call. So you tap it, and then it pops up and says, we're going to record, and it tries to call. And the number's no good. Bummer. But the enhanced did get me 3 cracks at getting the right person. Here's one thing I'll say for those of you using the platform. There are some emails here that are very clearly or very clearly don't match the person's name. I don't care, because I have had, I don't know how many times, but a number of times over the last few months where I have called, texted, or emailed, and the person is a relative, and I didn't know that, but I just reached out, and that relative, they passed along my information. I've had sons of people, they were twice, actually, for sure. It was the son of the person, and they were like, my dad passed along your info. He told me to call you. What do you got going on here? I've had where it was I think I've had domestic relationship, like not married, but like, you know, whatever. So just like, who cares? Who cares? It's easy to tap the call and text, the emails that cost you literally nothing, and the phone numbers. If they're not on the DNC, who cares? Who cares? All right, I'm going to move to the next one. Baker. This one's got some debt. Mobile number on the DNC. Who cares? Sorry. I'll do my disclosure after. Don't call or text the seller targets if they're on the DNC. Don't. I call the buyers. Hey, is that Brian?
Yes.
Brian, good morning. This is Josh with eXp Realty. How are you this morning?
Good.
I am calling because it looks like you are a pretty active investor in Perry County, and we just listed one in Duncannon that is a fixer-upper and could be a good deal if you're looking for anything or know anybody who might be.
You just listed a property?
Yeah, yep. It's a fixer in Duncannon. It's a single family, 2-bedroom, 3-story. It's got nice off-street parking.
That's just a tick out of my area here.
Okay.
I'm a farmer here, so I do buy homes if I can find them local, and I have been in construction, still am a little bit.
So closer to Newport, is that
Yeah.
that more where you prefer? Okay. Do you typically hang on to them, or you fix them up and resell them, or?
No, typically I hang on to them.
Okay.
Yep. Mostly what I will look for is farmland, actually, but sometimes I'll buy small homes and fix them up too.
Okay.
Between Newport and Millerstown, that's
Between Newport and
where I
Millerstown.
live, and I try
Beautiful.
to stay local, especially on the farming side.
Okay.
I just gotta pop in and out of the farm all the time with the cattle and chickens and everything here. So it's just nice to stay local. Not
Yeah.
that maybe I could do a little better if I go a little further, but local's important to me. And then, whenever there's a problem, I just bounce over.
Sure.
It's just like 5 minutes.
Sure.
So
Sure. No, that makes perfect sense. Is there a good email that I could send when we come across something that might fit what you're looking for and describe there?
bbwindinghill@gmail.com.
BB Winding Hill.
Yeah.
Got it. Well, Brian, I appreciate you taking the call. And it's Josh Shanley with eXp. If it's okay with you, what I'll do is I'll follow up. I'll just send you an email so you have my contact info. And then we are coming across, more and more opportunities all throughout Perry County and really central PA. And I can keep you in mind on anything that kind of fits what you described there.
Yeah, that's me, mostly farming.
Okay.
But, I do watch for small homes
Okay.
as well.
Yeah.
So,
Perfect.
yeah.
Well, keep it in mind. I appreciate it. Happy.
Yeah. Fixer-uppers is what I like.
Sure.
A little bit discounted.
Yep.
Yeah. Perfect.
Perfect.
With you.
All right. Thanks, Brian. Bye-bye. Susan, I see your hand. Let me just tie up some loose ends on that conversation. So I called 3. That guy, he owns 6. He's a farmer. He told me exactly what he will buy. Is there any guarantee that he'll buy something this year? No. But, and this is the magic in, like, it's so simple that people are like, I have people that are saying, like, this seems too good to be true, or that doesn't make sense. Like, how could it be this easy? I now can go and find exactly what he told me he wants and say to those homeowners or property owners with confidence, would you consider selling this property to a private client of mine? And if they say yes, whether or not he's interested, I can then pivot to selling it to someone else. And I could literally come back in here and find other buyers off market, or I could pivot and say, hey, look, it sounds like based upon what you shared, you would be a perfect candidate for our 7-day stress-free home sale program. Would you like more info? Should we chat about it? It's really not that hard. Susan.
Yeah, so I was just trying to think through the theory and the strategy here. Why
Stop.
wouldn't you?
I'm kidding. So look. I'm going to let you go, but the thinking about that is like if you just start, the thinking will become clear. The path will become clear. That said, I want to answer your question. I was trying to be a little dramatic.
That's okay. You got me.
Yeah.
So why before the listing went active, why wouldn't you do that and
I
treat
did.
this as an off-market property?
So I did. That's why this deck was already saved in here. And I don't know what happened. I don't know if I saved the deck and I didn't call, or if maybe, I don't know what happened that day. But I had never talked to Brian. I never had enhanced skip traced Marty. But I did do that. It was also probably because Danny, who I've now listed, it was all of this happened during December, and December is like a blur to me. Like I was doing this stuff, but Caden was home and like there was a lot going on. So I wasn't in a daily routine. If all of this had happened in January, like I would have been more strategic about that, because one of the things that I'm going to run out of time for today, but I will do tomorrow, maybe I will end up going live tomorrow, who knows, but whatever, is the deal that I talked about yesterday, the 2-unit that was Mike, the Mennonite Amish guy. I did talk to him later in the day, and I got enough from him that I'm absolutely going to reach out to the off-market multifamily buyers in there, because I don't care. He's still deciding with the partner if they're going to sell it, but I have an idea of what they would accept or consider as an offer. That's all I need. I got an off-market 2-unit that I know the price on. I'll go and find those, because those conversations, like what I just had with Brian, they will uncover some opportunity. They have something that they might want to sell. They definitely, are interested and want to make an offer on Mike's off-market 2-unit or something else. We're not really buying small multis anymore. We're looking for 10 to 30 units. Like, these are just, I don't know. It's just, it was a good question, a valid question. And if you can do that alone is a reason why you're reaching out. It's off market. Like you can just, those 2 words alone, what do you got? It's off market. So it's a very valid point. I was just, I was being dramatic.
I'm good.
Yeah. I had, again, I had pulled it, and I remember seeing some of these. I don't know why. I don't know if I don't know. I don't know what happened the first time I pulled this. Life is a blur, and then, whatever else. Because I remember Rhoda Peachy. I definitely had tried to reach her. I'm going to try again, though. Why not? I got a mobile number for Rhoda. I'm going to tap that one, and whoops. And I'm going to call. I recorded that one, didn't I? Ooh, I wonder what happens there. Hold on. I recorded that phone number, that phone call with Brian. I wonder what AI is going to tell me I screwed up. Oh, hold on. Incoming call. Hello, this is Josh. Hello? Yeah. I can now.
Hi, Josh. My name is Paul, and I'm calling from Esper Creation, a web design and install.
Yeah, you can take me off your list. Thanks. I ain't got time for that. A website agency or something or other. Let's see here. Is there voice notes? Did I not do it right? Brian Brubaker. It probably takes a while to populate. I'll have to report back what it thought I could have done better. It is in there. I got to figure out what. That's the first time I've used it. Actually, I used it on a call to Sean, I think, but I didn't report back. Okay. I'm going to call a couple more, and then we're going to call it a day. Well, I'm going to call it. I'm going to call it a day for the live stream anyway. Okay, no emails for this one, which is weird. So I'm going to enhance this one. We'll see if we get any hits on that. Nope. No hits, which does happen sometimes. So I'm just going to try and call the other number with it.
If you record your name and reason for calling, I'll see if this person is available.
Yeah, hi, this is Josh. I'm trying to reach Rhoda about a fixer-upper property in Duncannon.
Thanks. Please stay on the line.
It's like an automated message thing.
Hello?
Hi, is that Rhoda?
No, this is Sam. I think you have the wrong number.
I'm sorry. All right, you too. Bye-bye. Wrong number. So this is just kind of anecdotal commentary. Rural areas, I would say that that happens. Maybe it's not more often, which is the drawback. But rural areas also, I notice a much better pickup rate. Like when you actually have a good number, for whatever reason, I don't know if it's like, I don't know if that's just anecdotal or what, but all right, I'm trying reverse this time. I texted first and then I'm going to call. Normally, dang it. It's not a good number. Well, I'm going to send the emails and move it along. And I would say at least 2 of those emails look like they are very likely the right, or potentially the right email, because it's his name at address. All right, here, Lisa. Okay, I did work through this deck before because I have a blue text that I sent to Lisa. She never replied. It was also during December, and like, let's face it, we're, on some level, we all kind of check out a little bit. So I'm going to try her again. I'll demonstrate something else. It's just like a little hack.
Hello?
Hi, is that Lisa?
Yeah.
Lisa, hey, this is Josh with eXp Realty. This is very transparently a business call, but I was calling because it looks like you own, some properties in Perry County, and we have one that we just listed in Duncannon that's a fixer-upper and could be a good deal for an investor. And I was just curious if you're looking for any deals, or maybe know anyone who might be interested.
That's a 2-bedroom on High Street.
It is.
Yep, I saw that.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm personally not.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know anybody off the top of my head.
Well, if you think of anybody, this is my cell phone. I'd greatly appreciate it. So are you just, is that just not fit your buy box? Are you not buying right now? Are you?
I don't particularly like to buy on certain areas, you know what I mean?
Okay.
The return's just not there.
Okay. So it's more the location of that one specifically.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But I mean, it looks like a lot of stuff is done, so a lot of the work, everything just needs finished up.
Fix and flip them, or you hang on to them, or just kind of case by case?
Case by case.
Yeah. Okay.
Sometimes, we'll just do a flip. Other times, I'll keep it as a rental.
Okay. Would you mind if I kind of keep you posted if we get anything else that could that could be a good deal? What's what's the best email for you? Gotcha. Awesome. Well, I appreciate it, and I appreciate the time, and I'll keep you on our short list. And I guess one last thing, like only Perry County, or you prefer Perry County, or?
I am most familiar with
Sure.
Perry County.
Sure.
I don't like to go too far. maybe Cumberland.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough.
It's like Halifax area.
Okay. Well, I appreciate the time.
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks, Lisa. Hopefully, I'll be in touch and maybe we can do some deals together here in 26.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. Thanks.
Thanks.
Bye-bye. She knew about that one, so I don't know if she got my text, but I don't know how, or maybe she just saw it hit the market. Because she also her email is a mortgage email, so she is in the business. She told me what she was looking for. She just doesn't like the location of that one per se. But she gave me her best email, which was not one of these in here. Sometimes the email in there is the best one. Sometimes it's not. So I like to confirm. When it's obviously, there are times where it's kind of obvious to me that it's their best email. Sometimes I will say, is jamesbrown@gmail.com the best email for you? If it's kind of obvious, like Josh Shanley, or, my Gmail is shanley.josh. If that shows up, and that does in some of these skip tracing, like it's kind of obvious that that's a good one. Jeffrey.
Just had a quick one. I threw it in the chat a while ago
I'm sorry.
before we end. But back to the reverse prospecting in MLS and then dumping it into Go High Level.
Mm-hmm.
Are you like storing that reference number in a string, or how are you importing that?
Yeah, that's a great question. I just put it as like the company name or the business name with that contact record.
Okay, so you didn't do a custom field yet.
I should, though. And I don't know what's going to happen when, I'm sure it's already happened, where I import the same person again, and it's a different reference ID. I don't really know. I don't really care, if I'm being honest, because what'll happen is they'll say, no, that doesn't make sense. That person's not looking there. And then I'll go to Bright and I'll pull the right ID. If that happens. And also, I was doing this for months before I even thought to put the client ID and the reference number in there. I think it helps. And it's really, it's helpful for the recipient, but it's not, it's not the end of the world. Because back then what would happen is there were some that knew, that would specifically ask me, what's the client ID? And I would just go back to my Bright and I would Command F, search their name and find the client ID for that reverse prospect.
Okay. No,
but
that makes sense.
There might be a better way to do it. That's just the way that I've been doing it, is I just put it as that way I can merge the field in easily. But a custom field I could merge in too. I just haven't put it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that was all communication via text?
I send a text and an email.
Okay.
Yep.
So you're just, because I've hit a couple where you can only send a maximum of so many emails through the system, and then literally had to click the button off and click the button on for hundreds in a couple of the city centers. When I have,
are you saying in your MLS or in
MLS?
Okay. Yeah.
There's a limit to the number of, you can only send like 200 emails in Flex. So
can you send 200 at a time?
What? Yeah, you have to unclick the first 200 and then you have to manually click the next 200.
Oh, well, in Bright, you literally can only do it one at a time.
Okay, yeah, we can bulk send to 200.
Yeah, we can't. At least if you can in Bright, I don't know how to do it. You have to literally, I have to pull up the list, click the person, send the email, go back to, hit back, click the person, send the email. And that was part of the reason why I've moved to doing it the way I'm doing it.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
You bet. All right. That's all I got for today, because in part I gotta get Brian set up, I gotta get Jerome set up, I gotta get Lisa set up, and if you're a Founders Club member, don't come to the workshop at noon, an hour from now. Your time is much better spent watching the replay of the deal sprint, or just doing the stuff that I was doing the last 40, 45 minutes. Because like I mean, I could nitpick all of the conversations that I had, Jerome, Lisa, and Brian. I could nitpick those because like they were not perfect, but they were a conversation and they told me what they want. Now I got to go find it, right? That's the job. That's the job. No session tomorrow unless I change my mind, but don't feel obligated to come. We also, leaddeck.ai/closers. Sean actually texted me this while we're on. I don't know if that's active yet, but at some point, leaddeck.ai/closers will have the replays as well as like cheat sheet, infographic, etc., for those that want to go and revisit or be able to go and say, what was that thing that we did on Tuesday or whatever. So that it's very much a work in progress. I don't even know if it's live yet, but I did see that he texted me that'll be the URL for those replays. And hope you all, if I don't see you before Monday, have a great rest of the week. Get to work and bring back wins on Monday.
Thank you, Josh.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Record.
I can definitely send you the replay. I'll have it available later this afternoon. And I'm excited. It should be a great audience. I think 6 live calls this morning. I made